What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Officer Show. Today we're looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends retro figures. So a collection of figures here on the retro card backs. We have 6 in total to look at today, so a lot to go through. But first up, from the Spider-Man series, we have Spider-Man. So this is like the cell shaded Spider-Man, so it has some of the cell shading. You can't really see it much on the figure, but it is there. And I think this was a Walmart exclusive, probably as well as this lizard. So we get the cool lizard figure. It looks very classic, especially with that kind of weird head on there. All celebrating the Spider-Man 60th anniversary. Then behind that, we have another Spider-Man character of Scorpion, which looks really cool with this like animated style. So again, on the animated card back and stuff, so looks really cool there. And then we have the Bombastic Bagman, so Peter Parker dressed up in a Fantastic Four outfit with the bag on his head and everything. Looks pretty cool there. And then finally we have some random stuff of the Ghost Rider figure, so he looks pretty cool. The card back for him is really big. So the Daredevil has the normal size one, but the Ghost Rider's is really big for some reason. But it's really cool to have the figure because we pretty much had the old Toy Biz figure from the 90s of this Ghost Rider, so cool to have it now in a Marvel Legends. And we just recently got the Marvel Unlimited box, so we have the Daredevil from that and his classic attire there as well. So that's cool that he came in just in time to do this video. So 6 figures to look at here today that all look pretty cool, and I'm excited about a lot of them. So let me go and get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with the Walmart exclusive Spider-Man. And again, we've had Spider-Man before, especially in the retro collection, but the difference with this one is that it has the cell shading to make it more from that animated series, of course, which most of the figures are like based off, but it just gives that cell shading. So like under his arms and stuff, you can see he has the cell shading, much like the X-Men animated series figures we've been looking at in the VHS boxes. But overall, looks pretty cool. You know, just looks like Spider-Man. Probably like my favorite version of Spider-Man, just because the red's so bright and the blue's the lighter blue until you get to the cell shading. So I just love the bright blue and the red mixed together, but overall looks just like Spider-Man. We've seen him multiple times, so we don't need to go into story. Of course, it's Peter Parker and all that, but he just looks pretty cool. And like I said, I like the cell shading and the lines and stuff like on his midsection. Seems pretty bare like in the legs until you look at like the sides and stuff where you can see the lines going down all the way to the boots there. And again, the arms look kind of bare as well until you get underneath where you can see the shading under there on those, and then around on the back a little there. But overall, it doesn't seem like there's too much shading on him, so it's not really noticeable. Just looking at the figure straight on, you just really see the lines there like on his midsection, because most of the shading is just off to the side, so you could just like, if you just have it at the right angle, you could just not see it or just think it's natural shadows and stuff. But overall it looks pretty good. But we'll do his movement, so his head can twist all the way around and he can look down that far and up that far. And his head's one thing, how like flat to the body the head is, that's always one thing that's kind of weird. And I pointed out in old figures that I thought it looked really weird, almost like he's got no chin or something, that his head is just like flat down to his neck. So it looks a little bit weird from like straight on. You don't really notice it as much, but as you start to look to the side, it just seems a little bit awkward in that. Overall, good head movements. The shoulders can come up to 90 and have a butterfly joint back and forth. Not much of one, but it's a little back and forth. Rotates all the way around. And we get the bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far at least, so just over 90. The wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We get the upper ab crunch, so right in the midsection here. So crunch back and forth a little and can twist all the way around. And then he's got the lower crunch right at the waist, so crunch even further forward and further back there. So pretty good with both those crunches. The hips can come up to 90 and out to the side that far. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back. Ooh, pretty much, yeah, it can kick his own butt. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So pretty good movements and pretty standard for Spider-Man. Not the newest body from the Renew Your Vows pack, but still pretty decent Spider-Man overall. No major issues or anything for me. Just that head shape is the only thing that annoys me about this figure. I couldn't figure out what Spider-Man this matches with, but I just grabbed the normal retro one, so here I have this. So one thing you'll notice right away is just how tall it is, but they have really similar joints, or at least it doesn't look the same. It still has the upper like ab crunch and the lower one at the waist, but they look a little bit different. Like I said, body wise, this other one is much taller. So once comparing that, I'm like, well, it's definitely not that Spider-Man, but just, yeah, I don't know which Spider-Man it is from the retro collection that this one is, but overall they have similar looks, like I said, both from the retro collection, so our normal Spider-Man and what should be normal Spider-Man, just with that cell shading for the 90s series. But either way, I do really like this Spider-Man. Now for accessories, he comes with additional hands, so he has 2 fists on, so of course we have to have the 2 whips, so we have the 2 whips for each hand, as well as the wall crawling hands, so we have both of those. And finally, he just comes with the web splats that we have, so splat sort of thing we can put wherever. So not a whole lot to him, and we've seen Spider-Man multiple times by now, but overall, like I said, I do like the design mostly because that light blue mixed in with the body, you know, just my favorite design for Spider-Man, and cool that has the cell shading, even though it's barely noticeable on this figure. But overall, not bad at all. And next up, we've got Lizard, which was also a Walmart exclusive, a part of the retro collection. And overall, he looks cool here. Of course, Lizard's real name is Kirk Connors, and he graduated medical school with a doctorate in biology and biochemistry, became a surgeon in the U.S. Army to operate on wounded soldiers, and when he lost his own right arm in a blast, he devoted his life to create a serum to regenerate lost limbs from reptile DNA. And when he created the serum, he decided to test it on himself, and his arm began to grow back. However, it then gave him reptilian DNA, so altered his own DNA and turned him into the vicious creature known as the Lizard, which we have here. This is based off the Lizard's first appearance, so he has this weird awkward looking face. Like from here it doesn't seem as bad, especially dead on, but when you get to the side it just seems like and I think it has maybe become like a meme face or something, but just a weird looking face for a Lizard there. But thankfully it comes with an additional head that'll make him look a little bit better. But overall it's nice to have this Lizard because it's, you know, your normal like standard action figure size, so it's much easier to fit on the shelf than the Build-A-Figure one we've had, although the other one looks much cooler. I do really like this a lot. So of course he has the outfit on, so has the white lab coat since he is a doctor and stuff and working with experiments. So he's got the white doctor's lab coat on, which has the nice like rips on the arms and stuff since he's grown into this Lizard. And then he's just got a black t-shirt and purple pants on. A lot of scientists wearing purple pants like Bruce Banner for instance, and ripped up pants legs, and then of course the all Lizard body. So we have the Lizard head, which again looks pretty funny just with that open mouth, no teeth or anything, but his tongue in there, and then his eyes, so just all white eyes with the black dots, looks pretty nice. And of course all Lizard-like skin going down his hands, so he's got the hands, and his fingers tend to be a little bit more like bulbous or whatever, so I think he's supposed to have kind of like a gecko like fingers and toes and stuff, so has that, but all the reptilian skin as well down his legs, so the skin going down, and again more bulbous toes for the gecko like toes, and the tail hanging out the back, and it has the wire tail so you can sort of bend it around and stuff, but the nice segmented tail and stuff there with the reptile design looks pretty nice. So overall it's a nice figure, and like I said, it's really nice to have this so it can fit much easier on a shelf with the rest of your figures. But let's do his movements. So his head can twist all the way around, have to get around the color there, but look all the way around, and then can look down that far and up that far, so not bad movements overall. The arm can then come up. I'm surprised it goes up to 90 there, because I thought with the bumps on the shoulders it wouldn't get up, but yeah, it can go up there to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend all the way up on itself, so that's really good. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Then for the body, we get the up wrap crunch, so he can crunch back and forth. It's going to be hard with the jacket, but can crunch and twist around mostly for this one, and then has the lower crunch as well, so you can get him pretty far forward there and back even a little bit, so nice crunching. The hips can come up to 90 and out to the side, thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, hard to get with all the coat, but oh, almost kicking his butt. Shin twist out the top of the leg there in the pants, and then the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. And then if we go around to the tail, I assume it can move back and forth a little bit. Let's see, yeah, it's just on like a ball, it looks like, so it can just pretty much twist around and move up and down a little, but of course it's got the bendable wire, so you can bend it and shape it however you want. So overall, I must say I'm quite impressed with this figure. It has really good movements overall. Like I thought, you know, it'd be a lot of inhibitions, especially with a bigger figure and the lab coat and everything, but everything moves pretty much as well as you would want to, so no real issues or anything with this figure, and it has nice movements and everything, so that's nice. And as I said, it's much better compared to the old Build-A-Figure we have, at least, you know, size on a shelf and stuff, but here is that old Build-A-Figure Lizard. Like I said, this one looks much more realistic with the design. Looks like it's got a raptor head and stuff, but really big figure, and like I said, takes up a lot of room on your shelf and stuff, but really nice to have this Lizard to replace it now. But as I said earlier, the thing I hate about this is his head, but thankfully with accessories we do get an additional head. Still a little bit weird looking, like cartoony and stuff, but at least he's got teeth now and a tongue hanging out and some yellow eyes and stuff, so let's switch this out. So there's that head, and that definitely looks much more like a Lizard I would know and definitely want on my shelf. So it's really cool they included that first appearance head on the body, but I really like this one because it makes him look much more sinister and Lizard-like that I know and stuff, so that's definitely the best head for this figure in my opinion. And we also get some additional hands, so he has the open, like I'd say like crawling hands or whatever with the gecko fingers like I mentioned, but we do get additional hands, one with a fist and one with a grip, so pretty nice to have those. May use them. And also since he's a scientist and doctor and stuff, we do also get some vials. I can never remember what these called, like the flasks and stuff, but nice to have them. We've had them before with different characters, and of course have the different like colors inside, so a red and a yellow one this time, and has the holes as I showed before. You can take the smoke effects from the guns and stuff, pop them in there, so it's like smoke's coming out, so pretty nice to have that. So I'll probably switch his one hand out and put one of these bottles, probably this one, in the hand and switch it, so that we can have a Lizard like he just drunk the potion and turned into the Lizard. So overall pretty cool. Like I said, I really like this figure. It's definitely a figure I want on the shelf with the collection, so definitely a much needed Lizard in my opinion. And then another pretty similar character, we've got Scorpion, real name MacDonald Gargan or Mac Gargan, and he was a private investigator hired by J. Jonah Jameson to find out how Peter Parker was able to get such good pictures of Spider-Man, but he was unable to catch him. And then Jameson ended up paying $10,000 to make Gargan the subject of an experiment of Dr. Stillwell with animal mutations. And following the experiment, Gargan lost all his sanity and became a super-powered criminal known as the Scorpion. And overall, he looks really cool. So we've had a Scorpion before. It's going to be the exact same figure, and of course I'll show that, just obviously repainted this time for more of that animated style. And I love this thing so much. Scorpion was always one of my favorite villains just because of his design and scorpion tail and all that, but just having him in these colors now is really cool. And comparing him to that older figure, it's like, I don't know why I enjoyed that last figure so much, especially now having this one's like, this is what I'd prefer. And I'll just go over more when I show that one, but he just looks so cool. So I love the colors of the bright green and the dark green mixed together. So bright green body and legs with the dark green, so it has some dark green designs there around his head on his mask design, so even darker there around his head with the little like pincher designs and stuff, and maybe hair there on the chin, or maybe just some of the costume design, not sure, but just a nice evil face with the bright green going down the back with the stripe and the darker green on the sides. And then like I said, the whole body there that's got the segmentations running through it, which is cool. Dark green gloves and underwear as well as boots. And then he's got the scorpion tail, so the dark piece here on like the backpack segment, and then the tail going all the way down, and it's the bendy wire tail, so you can bend it around and move it wherever you want with the nice stinger there on the end of it. So again, just like that other figure we've had before. But let's do his movement. So his head can twist all the way around, and he can look down that far and up that far. A little bit stiff on the joint there, but nice movements back and forth overall. His shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. Bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend almost all the way up on itself. The wrist can twist around and flex back and forth, a little bit stiff, but nice flexing. We get the up-wrap crunch in there, so he can crunch back and forth. With the back ped, it's hard to get, back or anything because it's kind of just hitting him, but he can crunch forward a little bit, but mostly twist all around in there. And then he also has the twist all the way around at the waist. The hips can come up to 90 and then out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. And of course he has that scorpion tail, no twisting or movements or anything. It feels like the backpack can like come off, just like it seems like it's separating there, but not sure if it does because I can't just pull it off, but it seems like it has some movement in there, so make sure you get it connected on. But then the tail, like I said, has the bendy wire, so you can bend it and shape it however you want, try to get it posed up with him. And with the tail, it has a lot of weight on his back, so it makes him kind of hard to stand up and everything. Pretty cool, but like I said, it's hard to bend. You'd have to sit here and mess around with the tail quite a bit to get it to stay. And unfortunately, it is a little bit harder to stand up because he keeps wanting to fall backwards. Now, he doesn't come with any accessories, just the way he is with that big tail. But as I said, we can bring in that older figure, which like I said, at the time, I was pretty happy with it just because it was cool to get a scorpion and stuff and thought it looked cool. And it's going to be the exact same body, just pretty much redesigned like face and stuff. But overall, it's going to be exactly the same, just recolored. And we've seen this a lot with a lot of figures. Of course, they're releasing them now with these more supposed to be animated style versions, but we have a lot of old ones that have metallic colors, and I never really noticed it until now, like, comparing all these figures. It seems like almost every character we have an older version that's been metallic, and that's what this is, so it's all metallic green, but pretty much same layout, design, and everything, just obviously a lot less just one solid green color. And so I definitely love this new one compared to that. Like I said, the only issues I have with this is trying to get him to stand because of the tail, and then trying to get the tail to do exactly what you want, to bend around and everything. But still, without that, I just love this figure just because the way he looks and the colors and stuff. So really good figure in my opinion. And next up, we've got the Bombastic Bagman, which is just Peter Parker or Spider-Man. But he got this outfit at a time when Reed Richards wanted to examine the alien symbiote that Peter had picked up, and Reed was able to separate it from Peter. And since at this time Peter was without a costume, the Human Torch gave him an old spare Fantastic Four costume, but he had no footwear, so the figure has bare feet. And because he didn't have a mask, he had to wear a brown paper bag on his head. So that's why we have him here as the Bombastic Bagman. So he's in the Fantastic Four outfit. So it's outfit we've seen before with the older Fantastic Four figures. I'm not sure which ones they were, but I'll show you like the Reed Richards that this shares the body with. So the Fantastic Four all blue outfit with the black collar, black belt, black gloves, and should have black boots, but since he doesn't have any shoes to wear, he goes barefoot there. So pretty nice to have the bare feet with that. And then it is Peter Parker under there. Of course, you can kind of see a face, so they have like a face mold, but you can't like take the bag off or anything. It's kind of molded up in there, but it's cool to have the holes and you can see a face down in there. And then the brown paper bag looks really nice. Of course, I like how it's got the serrated like ends on it and stuff, and then all the folds and wrinkles and stuff. That works pretty well for a paper bag, and even has like the nose protrusion stuff. So overall looks pretty cool. They did a really good job with this figure. I think it looks pretty nice, but obviously not a necessary figure, so you don't have to have this figure. Not something that's a must-have for a collection, but it's pretty cool to have, and you can throw it in with your Fantastic Four that we will be doing. But overall, it just looks cool. So for movements, the head can twist all the way around, and it can look down a little and up a little. Of course, not much movement because of the bag, but not bad. Shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate around. We get a bicep twist, double elbow that can bend up almost all the way up on itself, so not bad. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We have that crunch, so we have the nice hinge there that can move back and forth, not back too much, but forward a little, so nice back and forth. Twist all the way around at the waist, hips up to 90 and out to the side a little bit there. Thigh twist all the way around, double knee joint that can bend up that far. We can kick his own butt. And then the foot's really stiff on this figure, but it can move back and forth there and twist side to side. So overall, not bad. It has pretty decent movements, and this is an older figure, so I'm quite surprised how well it moves and everything, but do have some issues, like with the legs seem a little bit too thin, and the joints seem to be bending up and stuff there, and then the stiffness with the foot doesn't help either, but overall it's not too bad, and overall a nice design. But we can compare it with, like I said, the Fantastic Four Reed Richards. So again, it's supposed to be the exact same body from this version of the Fantastic Four, just obviously a little bit repainted. The shades of blue are lit off and stuff, and looks like the Four is a little bit bigger, but it's supposed to be the exact same body, so you can easily throw him in with this crew of the Fantastic Four, which we'll do at the end. But he comes with some accessories, so he has some fist hands on, so he comes with some wall crawling hands since it is Spider-Man or Peter Parker, so we get some wall crawlings there as well to go along with him. And from the comic, when Johnny Storm gives him this outfit, he also puts a kick me sign on the back of it, so we have a little kick me sign that can go into the peg here, so you just peg that right there on the back, so it looks like it's taped on of a kick me sign there for Bagman as well, which is pretty cool. But now with that, we can add him in with the Fantastic Four. So there we got Bombastic Bagman added in with our Fantastic Four and the costumes that he matches with, so pretty cool to have the Bagman to add in with our Fantastic Four and just have another version of Peter Parker, which is really cool. So pretty good figure for that alone. And then we've got Ghost Rider for the 60th anniversary of Ghost Rider, and so with this we just pretty much have a remake of an old figure we've had, but overall looks pretty cool. And this is like the Ghost Rider design that I always know of. Of course there's this version and then pretty much the same, but with the blue, which is another figure we also have. But this is what I always picture of, like the black leather and of course the skull head with the flames, which is classic Ghost Rider and stuff. But overall looks pretty cool, and I wish the figure was like newer, like they would have remade the body and stuff for the anniversary, but they just pretty much, like I said, just remade the old figure once again, just in different color designs that I'll show you. But overall looks pretty cool. But of course this is Johnny Blaze, who followed in his family as well as his foster family's business of being a stunt performer, and really looked up to his foster father of Crash Simpson. Well, when Crash ended up developing cancer, Johnny turned to the occult to find a mystical way to save him, and Johnny did a spell to summon Satan, but Mephisto appeared instead. So the two made a deal to cure Crash of his cancer, but only if Johnny would serve him. So Johnny agreed, but despite this, Crash ended up dying a short time later due to a world record jump that he missed and ended up killing him, and this led to Johnny transforming into the Ghost Rider out of anger. So he became the Ghost Rider here as the servant of Mephisto, and overall looks pretty cool. So he's got, like I'd say, his motorcycle or stunt gear on, especially with the black leather, of course, kind of is what the Ghost Rider appears as. So it has this black leather jacket with the gray stripes down the arm and the gray like double-breasted section there in the front. Of course becomes this the Ghost Rider skeleton type guy with flames and stuff, so he's got the all skeleton face with the flames for like hair. Of course flames going down there around his neck, so you can see his spine and stuff there, which is pretty creepy. And then he's got black gloves on, a nice chain around his chest, so he uses a chain for a weapon, belt on there, so nice silver belt with the design all the way around there. Then darker gray pants, so nice baggier style pants and stuff, old design, with the knee-high black leather riding boots that look pretty cool, you know, look like motorcycle boots. Overall design wise I don't think they look too good, but they still look cool, just general design. So overall pretty cool to have him. Like I said, I would have liked if they would have redesigned the figure, maybe redone the body, probably with the pinless joints. Not that I care if there's pinless or not, but just to give us a new body design as compared to just re-releasing the old one in this color. But we can do the movement, so his head can twist all the way around, have to just get around the flames there, but he can look down that far and up that far, so a little bit back and forth. And of course the mouth does open a little bit. It's a little bit loose, so once you get it down it's hard to get it back up, especially with all the space in here. It's hard to get it, but you can move the jaw back and forth, which is cool. The shoulders can come up under 90 though because of the shoulder pads, so just under 90 there, but can rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so not bad. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We have the ab crunch in the middle, so crunch back and forth, nice crunching. Twist all the way around at the waist. Hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, and then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So it's not bad, like no major issues or anything. Like he doesn't have all the movements, and like I said, it would have been nice just to get a newer figure design, just because I feel this one looks a little bit too old, and some issues like the boots look really big and like at weird angles and stuff to get him to stand, so just a little bit awkward there. But it is just a remake of the old figure, so here's that older one. So it has the exact same body, obviously just repainted, so it looks like the pants are now the gray color there and stuff, and then they switched out the skeleton design, probably the same overall design, just this one's more see-through and stuff, where now it's the solid skeleton but still has the flames and all that sort of stuff in there. So either one isn't really bad. I just like this newer one just because I like the more like solid skeleton piece form. But he comes with some accessories that you can switch out. So first we get a Johnny Blaze head that's starting to go in the flames and stuff, so nice red eyes and hair starting to turn to flame stuff. So let's switch this out. So there's that Johnny Blaze head, which looks pretty cool. It doesn't seem to fit though too much because he still has the skeletal neck and stuff, so I feel the skeleton would be better, but it still looks pretty cool to have him there like that. So it's like he's transforming maybe for the first time into Ghost Rider, but we'll just switch the head back. And with that skeleton head back, we can also switch out the hands to skeleton hands with the flames, which is pretty cool. So let's switch these out. So there he's got the skeletal hands with the flames, which looks pretty cool. I really like that. So we get like a grip hand almost like the trigger finger, and then just an open hand there as well. I don't know if they're going to be very useful, but it is cool to have them. And we do also get some flame effects that we can wrap around the arms, maybe to like feed into the flames on the hand. So there's the flames on the hands there, which like I said just adds a little bit more of the flame design. And then of course he also comes with his mystic chain, so he has the chain wrapped around it, but I think it can come off and you can use it and it turns the flames and stuff. So I don't think it'll be much of use. I don't know how well this skeletal hand, yeah, I guess it does hold it, just doesn't hold it very well, but it is cool that he does also come with that. So pretty cool to have that. So we have Ghost Rider there holding the chain, turning it into flames and stuff, and looks pretty cool. I like the whole skeletal hands and stuff to go along with the head, so that looks pretty cool there for this version of Ghost Rider. And then at last we have our Marvel Unlimited version of Daredevil in his original costume, which looks pretty cool. So body-wise and stuff, it's going to be the same as the original one, and I'll show you that comparison. And it's going to have the Bucky Cat body, so it's got the little tiny feet and stuff, which is annoying, but having it fresh and new does help a lot because our old one is in pretty bad shape just from being in storage, so having a new one out of the box helps a lot with the Bucky Cat body, but it'd still be nice to have it in a different body just overall. And pretty nice to have him in that original outfit design of the yellow and red, so like the mustard and ketchup colors, but still looks pretty cool and has overall nice with the bright yellow standing out quite a bit, and then the red outfit with the red D on there, of course, has the thigh holster for his stick and stuff, and just everything about it just looks pretty cool just for this version of Daredevil. And of course we just looked at a Daredevil more recently, and because of that we learned that he made his original outfit, this color one here, from his dad's old boxing robes of the red and yellow, so that's how he got this design. So overall looks pretty cool. I love having this, and like I said, once we see the other one, this is definitely a much needed improvement. So let's do the movement. So head can twist all the way around, you can look down that far and up that far, so really good head movements. Shoulders can come up to 90, a little bit under there it seems like, but can twist all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that's a little bit stiff but can bend up there that far, so just over 90. Wrist can twist around and flex up and down, it looks like, for this hand. We have the ab crunch, so we can crunch forward and crunch back, so nice crunching, a little bit too loose and a little bit too much crunching, so you get a big gap in there, but still pretty nice to have that much movement. Twist all the way around at the waist. Hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that bends up that far to the back. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side, so a little bit of stiffness there in the foot, but overall it looks pretty good. Like I said, don't really have many issues standing. Usually that's the biggest issue with the Bucky Cat bodies for me, is getting him to stand, but like I said, I think because this is new out of the box, I'm not going to have nearly as many issues as I do with that older figure. And like I said, just like this design mostly because the colors are much brighter. So let's bring in that older version. So of course here is that, so again, same Bucky Cat body, but definitely this new one looks much better with the brighter reds, and then the yellow as well just stands out so much compared to like this golden color. So definitely love this new Daredevil figure compared to this older one. Definitely a much needed improvement, what better one for the collection. And accessory wise, the only thing he comes with is his stick. So we get the stick here in a gray design. Of course you can add it together there, put it into his hand, or you can separate it out and stick it down into his thigh holster. So you can store it just like that, but let's go ahead and just put him into his hands. So there's Daredevil with the sticks, which looks pretty cool. So awesome to have this Daredevil. Like I said, Sync's the only way to get it is through the Marvel Unlimited craze, so you have to buy the year membership and stuff to get this, but we buy it anyway, so it's pretty cool to get the figures that are included with it, just like this one. And like I said, came just in time to do this video as we were planning to do it. So that's really cool, and like I said, a much needed upgrade for Daredevil to add to our collection in his original outfit. Well, that's going to be it for this Marvel Legends Retro Collection wave, where we got all the figures on the retro card backs, where we had a lot from the Spider-Man animated series, such as Spider-Man, Scorpion, and Lizard. And then it's cool to get the Bombastic Bagman, Ghost Rider for the 60th anniversary, and the Marvel Unlimited version of Daredevil in his original costume. So all really cool figures. I guess the only figure you could probably leave out is the Spider-Man, just since we've had so many Spider-Mans and he just has the cell shading. So you could easily probably move on without him, but all the other figures are pretty cool to get and add to the collection to upgrade or change out and stuff, because I think all these are really cool. But let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.